of the sureties. Some of the sureties just come in to cover up the applicants and then they go. It explains why he has not been even appearing in this court and they never stood shoot for him in the first application. You think he has been good? No, he may not have big problems, but there are people who are just told to come and start shooting regardless because of their titles and what. This is our duty. Seems like I want to, you are shooting that out of my mouth. But my submission is that the relationship between that surety and the applicant is scanty. There's no relationship. There's no relationship. And that relationship is very important. It is very key. If that surety is to compare, is to influence and compare the applicant to appear in court in the case they have responded there. Merely being a mayor of a division is not a prerequisite that was substantial. Your Worship, I just want to bring to your attention that we are talking about an applicant who has two homes. He has two homes, which homes he had concealed in the first application. And I think this was in bad faith. The applicant was not so open to court. If he had presented himself before medical officer, he would have gotten the wrong drug of prescription. Wouldn't want to prescribe a wrong drug if the person is not disclosed. We believe that when someone appears before this court, they should be able to disclose each and everything, especially when it comes to their application. Where someone conceals his other place of residence, then you know that such a person is likely to abscond bail. And moreover, we did not get any letter of introduction from that place. Such cases are rare. And that's why you hear the prosecution raising their voices. Now the issue is it a risk to have such a person released on bail under those circumstances? The introduction letter from the second home, he concealed it. The father, the alleged father, whom we don't know there's a father, doesn't have introduction letters, no ID. The other shooter is an elder one. The other one, the relationship is scanty, is a risk. Your Worship, as court answers that question, we try to parole the prosecution that it is a big risk. The applicant has not passed all the considerations for grant of bail. In any case, there is only the second chance and the third chance. I pray that this application be dismissed. If the applicant thinks he's mine and discloses his new home and even produces an introduction letter before this court, and then they get better sureties, then this court can entertain this application or this application. But it's also important that our investigations are complete. We should bring to your attention that our investigations are complete. So there's nothing like saying investigations are not complete, that you know the trial is going to take long. Prosecution is ready, and we are going to disclose to defense Great. Before I complete your before prosecution closes, I pray that my brother Charles say something. Yes, yes, Worship. Just to add on what the chief secretary has stated. Since the last time this matter came up, I was one of the report. I carefully listened to the report who's interacting with the sureties. On 14th of July 2025, when court interacted with the third surety that has been added, they confirmed to this court that his son, the applicant, had two homes, one in Kanyanya and another one in Bobi. Your worship, the only letter that was submitted, it is that one. We do not have a second MC letter from Bobi where the father confirmed that even they have burial grounds on that land, and the applicant is well established in Congo, where he has a farm. Your worship, that information first came out from the council called the Nakawe Split. He was made abandoned. And then when she said the truth, she was punished and she was excluded from those who stand should much as she cared needed to stand. Because she spoke the truth, she was abandoned alone. And the worship, what has us in prosecution is that the defense abandoned the fourth surety, who is Mr. Beyond Mind, the area your person. One wonders why. Worship by abandoning such the potential surety. It's a sign that the defense is considering
the true identity up. And this the application the worship is tainted with falsehoods. It should be rejected. And worship the court record bears us the way the defense has been studied. Right from the steps of their application up to date. One leg is here, another the other side. So they are not standing straight. And the worship that's right. The worship none of the sureties demonstrated their financial ability to be able to meet the non-cash back. The event this court there's nothing which is on people to show that they have the capacity. And that's clear that what it is so
Just as a summary, the worship, that is the duty of the applicant and his counsel, which they have totally failed. The worship, at least when someone is angry, they should have a good side. If you do not have papers that is show that you have the financial ability, they have failed to do that. And you see, the worship, this court has no moral or legal duty to the most strict. Or the court doesn't have a moral or legal duty to assume what has not been demonstrated. If the sureties present themselves as not substantial, then who are we to assume that they are substantial? This should be the wake-up call, the worship, to ensure that whoever is making an application, they should be prepared to make an application with all the necessary paperwork. But avoid taking creating a bad precedent. And you see what under guideline 12 of that very application, it is mandatory to produce a national ID. Look at an introduction letter. Actually, the ID for both the applicant and the sureties and an introduction letter. But by the way, before I conclude, even if all the sureties presented were substantial, the absence of an introduction letter of the applicant from his second home of residence would collapse the application, because the application does not conform to guideline 12. So we try to dismiss this application. We are contemplating this.
Also had from one relationship there, this person clearly informed the he's not already informed. He said that he goes to Bombay. Mr. Billy was not there in court. That day. I don't know whether he read the report. But he said that is where his burial grounds are, and that is where he goes to pass. Just to rejoin that, leadership are fascinating. Obviously, on the definition of what's then you go to other things.
Yeah, you actually can. That's going to change. I have two examples here. One is Peter Charles versus Uganda. You actually I can bring a copy, but I have it here. No, you actually be easier and you can search.
I can't search, it's your case.
Let me give you the authority. Let me give it to you.
After all search.
No, now. It is here.
I'm going to print it down.
This is actually by the appeal.
So, on the point of the age of the treaty,
Yes, Your Worship, in the case of Peter Charles versus Uganda, which are going to
Peter Charles.
yes, versus Uganda, miscellaneous application number 68. Miscellaneous application number 68. Your Worship, Justice Philip Odochi clearly stated in his ruling that a 74-year-old person was found substantial, was found to be substantial as a surety. And Your Worship,
Waiting for the decision.
yes, Your Worship, they are pleading since.
You have to read it.
No, Your Worship, I will highlight for you this.
Contextualize it. What's the thing was not an issue?
No, Your Worship, actually, the prosecution in this case argued about the 74-year-old person. In this Obita Charles case, the prosecution, yes, the prosecution was arguing about the 70-year-old person not being substantial because of the age. And that's it.
That's the way to it's get very difficult for Mr. Papi.
Yeah, it is about no. The what I was being
You say last 15 minutes.
it's Your Worship.
Proceed.
Your Worship, in this matter, the 70-year-old prosecution was rejecting the surety.
You shall read, you shall read, you shall read.
Also, Your Worship, in the other case of Aziki Daudi and another Aziki Aziki Daudi and another versus Uganda. Criminal case criminal misdemeanors. Application number 9 and number 15 of 2021 Your Worship. Your Worship, in this case, 21. In this case, court found that a leader in a community who are named, yes. Yes, Worship. And Your Worship, the purpose of a surety in a bail application is only to ensure that the accused person appears in court as an blameless prepared. Your Worship, a mayor of Kawepe, like one of our shurities here, cannot fail to ensure that the accused person appears in court.
The other issue.
Your Worship, let me allow you to speak.
Your Worship, secondly, given the second surety as a position of power over the accused person to force him if she is to yes, force him or force him to come to court.
As capacity for us.
Has capacity for us and to compel the accused person to come to court. As an act, yes. Your Worship, the argument that she has clocked retirement age and that she does not have the capacity to run around. Your Worship, that means even cripples may not have the capacity to become children. If you're saying that she has to chase an accused person, that means you're leaving out certain people in society. So your Worship,
That is your assumption of the capacity to pay the body.
Your Worship, both all the sureties have clearly informed the court that they have gainful employment. The first surety informed the court that he is the mayor of Awento division.
Uganda pays salary.
Worship, Uganda pays salary, but
Sure.
yes, but she is also mayor. I mean, she is also a councillor. Worship, Uganda pays allowances, to the best of my understanding. Because I do not think people work for free. But allowances
That's
are
why
paid.
you think it's a she's Does Uganda pay salary?
They give us allowances. Incredible.
You don't just come back because of the respect for the king, but
Worship, on the issue of the residence of the accused person, I believe that also come up law. Worship, firstly, the accused person is the person,
so the person has one home.
and he told court he has one wife, he has one home, which is in Kanyayapo Mabuga. Yes, he has a business in Bobo. Gombe. He has a business in Gombe, and he has a farm in Gombe, and those are where the burial grounds are.
So he only works there.
He only works there, but he sleeps at home in Kanyayapo Mabuga.
Is that true? Finally?
It's also my understanding that
Mwongelee masuala wanange.
would only be applicable if it is an accused person. Yes. It would be applicable if it is an accused person. That if an accused person is of 6 years, is 6 years, that makes them of advancement. And that would make them easily get bail. On the other hand, if it is a surety, the suitability of a surety is not only hinged on their age, but it is hinged on the capacity. Those are the obligations of this surety. The obligation is to bring the accused person to court, to ensure that the accused person is brought to court at the time the person can court.
Finally?
Finally,
Final prayer.
on the issue of us leaving some of the sureties outside.
It will be empowered.
Also there. Worship, it is my prayer that court finds the 3 sureties substantial and it is also my prayer that court grants non-cash bail to the accused person. Worship, owing to the charges brought against him, that it is not him who is he's charged as a as a core news, and it's not the main
I promised
news.
last time that I would never knowing it today, but now you're not ready. Keep dying.
The airship is about to reach. And this idea
Ah,
will provide you.
are you ready? Are you ready, Louis? Are you ready? From you. Are you ready?
So airship we can
Are you
stand
ready?
over. Airship we can stand over.
Are you ready? I'm ready to do it now.
Airship we can stand over.
No. I don't need to prepare the colors. Are you ready? And defense.
Yes, to airship, we are ready.
You are ready to see the team. There's no however. You are either ready or not ready.
Airship, allow me to.
There's no however. Hands were You are referred to decisions you have not given me.
Airship, that is showing that
Stand why I'm saying, are you ready?
Airship, that is why we're requesting you to stand over. Just to tell people you make those decisions, follow up those decisions.
And then when I went to reach them,
Airship, we shall highlight those particular parts.
somebody will tell you if you are finished. So defense, are you ready?
Yes, to airship.
So I'm ready with you right now. I want you to come through that you are not ready because you are not.
Airship, I leave it to us to make a decision.
No, are you ready?
Airship, I leave it to us.
Don't leave it to pause. No, that's the problem with the defense. Now they want to tell both that they are ready. They are not
the IB on the weekend, and the local parameters. It can take 30 minutes from Matuga to here.
And that's my point. Honestly, are you ready?
Airship, we shall provide the ID. We can see connections.
That is the best that you can come up. So that we don't get regard. You also give your stories, I read them, we analyze them, and then we come back. So the student element is to produce the ID, cancel
Yes, so she produce the ID clear of the authority.
the ID of Masaka movie.
Yes.
Movie and the authority.
And the authority. Together with the
Right here. So you can begin Wednesday.
when is it? Airship, we're also going to upload this within an hour.
For what? So, shall we have that here on the 10th of July?
Airship, I pray that,
End of work for
my prayer that, yes, most of it.
everyone being extended. Thank you for that remanded. We are hearing this case because the defense was not ready. Not because
Your Worship is a 50-year-old.
There is a way.
Your Worship, we are not sometimes the
What does
Worship is a businessman. He deals in land. Worship by copy of his nationality is also attached to the letter.
Can you look at that photo? Show it with your flyer. Look at it.
Yes, Your Worship.
Look at it. Is it clear?
Worship, this photo can be seen. Worship, I pray that
Is that not clear? Is that not the gallery? Is that not clear?
Worship, he can bring his nationality at the time of if court is implied, he can bring a copy of his
I'm recorded that he has no national identity card.
Worship, record that he has a photocopy of his nationality.
He has an identity card. I can't see the photo.
Worship, we shall take the various copy of the court.
My name is Shelly. Get video.
His Worship, we can even bring it to
Ate mwongere okusaba.
Worship, that ID can be brought in the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes actually.
Your Worship, let us pray that that's understandable. It's with distance and islands.
I have nowhere to put it. We make up a details of the what does it you say it is a land local? How does it relate to the next person? Telephone number.
0751 63
53. Your visa how we enter your 40 years, the 50 years you raise it from Kanyanya from Amboga Parish, Mutwe division. The businessman dealing in land. You have a national identity card original, but you have one which is not readable. You're part of the accused that you have been taken to land. You cannot take that's the report.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Council Werutu.
We pray that
That's Mr. Kaku.
yes, Your Worship. We pray that the original ID is presented in the next 15 minutes, and we pray that the district finds it substantial.
I just don't like it before. Yes.
There should be. There should be.
Well, that's what we will say. And that's
I'm
what we will
sorry,
say.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. there is no ID can be processed. And we pray that there should be employment be substantial.
And be produced in
In the next 15 days also. And the should confirm that this code, I think it confirms that the should be substantial. We pray that
In reply, Your Worship, I am it's my first time to be an application where Council President got to find the truth is substantial to that. It's a bit weird, and we pray that so Your Worship, in the last issue written, we pray that you find him completely unsubstantial. He does not conform to the requisite requirements. As is the practice of court. He doesn't have his national ID. He doesn't have the letter of introduction. Therefore, his place of abode is unknown. In dispensing justice, Your Worship, this court operates on two aspects. That is facts and evidence. And every fact must be backed up by evidence. Whereas the sheet, the last one, came to court, and it is a fact that his name is Bobi. There is no evidence that it's called Bobi. Whereas it is a fact as to his place of residence, there is no evidence with the place of abode. We cannot bundle two applications together. So it's not a good idea to bring documents for a previous application and use them in the current application. Because people migrate from one place to another. Yosh on the other sureties with the applicant brought, there was a 67-year-old lady, the speaker. Yes. Whereas we appreciate her service, she's not a substantial surety because of her age. It would be hard for her to influence and compel the applicant to appear in court in the case he has absconded. The two reside in different places, and by now they perceive the world differently. The shooter is in retirement, and the applicant is in for business. They completely have different perception of the world. Courts have been of the view that an applicant should bring a surety who is still energetic to run after them. But I wonder how a 6-7-year-old will run after the applicant at his different age. We pray that you find her not substantial. Watch paragraph 4 of the bill defines who must provide birth certificates.
I must say, 6 years of age and above.
Yes. And there's a full stop there now. 6-7 years. Then your worship in respect to the first surety, paragraph 4 for the bail payment. A person who at last age as a person of 60 years of age and above. Your worship in respect to the first surety. Yes, whereas the surety, the first surety, the mayor, whereas we recognize that the surety is a mayor, the relationship between the two is not forthcoming. And you actually wonder where this mayor was. As responsible as he is, it probably speaks the commerciality of the sureties. Some of the sureties just come in to cover up the applicants and then they go. It explains why he has not been even appearing in this court and they never stood surety for him in the past application.
You think he has been good?
No, he may not have big problems, but there are people who are just told to come and stand surety regardless because of their titles and what. This is our duty.
Seems right.
I want to, you are shooting that come out of my mouth. But my submission is that the relationship between that surety and the applicant is scanty.
There is no relationship.
There is no relationship. And that relationship is very important. It is very key. If that surety is to compare, is to influence and compel the applicant to appear in court in the case they have responded there. Merely being a mayor of a division is not a prerequisite that was substantial. Your worship, I just want to bring to your attention that we are talking about an applicant who has 2 homes. He has 2 homes, which homes he had concealed in the first application. And I think this was in bad faith. The applicant was not so open to court. If he had presented himself before medical officer, he would have gotten the wrong drug or prescription. Wouldn't want to prescribe a wrong drug if the person is not disclosed. We believe that when someone appears before this court, they should be able to disclose each and everything, especially when it comes to their application. Where someone conceals his other place of residence, then you know that such a person is likely to abscond bail. And moreover, we did not get any letter of introduction from that place. Such cases are rare, and that's why you hear that prosecution raising their voices. Now the issue is it a risk to have such a person released on bail under those circumstances? The introduction letter from the Supreme Court, he concealed it. The father, the alleged father, whom we don't know there's a father, doesn't have introduction letters, no ID. The other shooter is another one. The other one, the relationship is scanty. Is it a risk? Your worship, as God answers that question, we try to follow the prosecution that it is a big risk. The applicant has not passed all the considerations for grant of bail. In any case, there is only the second chance and the third chance. I pray that this application be dismissed. If the applicant thinks he's mine and discloses his new home and even produces an introduction letter before this court, and then they get better sureties, then this court can entertain this application or this application. But it's also important that our investigations are complete. We should bring to your attention that our investigations are complete. So there's nothing like saying investigations are not complete, that you know the trial is going to take long. Prosecution is ready, and we are going to disclose to defense. Great. Before I complete, before prosecution closes, I pray that my brother Charles say something. Yes, please.
Yes, Your Worship, just to add on what the Chief Secretary has submitted. Since the last time, this matter came up, I was one of the I carefully listened to the court who's interacting with the sureties. On 14th of July 2025, when court interacted with the third surety that has been added, he confirmed to this court that his son, the applicant, had two homes, one in Kanyanya and another one in Bobi. Your Worship, the only letter that was submitted, it is that one. We do not have a second MC letter from Bobi, where the father confirmed that even they have burial grounds on that land, and the applicant is well established in Congo, where he has a farm.